Good morning to everyone hot and sexy, hot in more ways than one. Why the fuck is it hot out ever in life? Should be outlawed, abolished, criminal for the earth to be this hot. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I am officially back in New York, back in Brooklyn. It's hot as fuck, it smells like piss, but I love it here. I'm so relieved to be back though and to be getting into a routine. I feel very into vlogging recently. I just want to take you guys around with me. I kind of want to just skip around and twirl my hair and go hee and have fun and do it on camera. So that's what I'm doing today. Somebody asked me on my Instagram, I did like a Q&A the other day, and somebody asked me what's something I want to try or bring more of into my life, and I said that I wanted to get back into writing again, because growing up, writing was such a big part of my life. I love poetry. I was a creative writing minor in college, and writing and poetry and putting all of my feelings down on paper and then workshopping and finding the most beautiful way to say those things was always like so fun. It exercised a creative muscle in my brain that I don't know that I feel other creative things I do itch. Writing and the satisfaction I got from writing poetry specifically just felt so unique, and I deeply miss it. It's been a few years since I've been writing regularly, and I feel so out of routine with it. I feel like I'm probably back at square one, even though I felt like I had gotten really good at poetry throughout college. Now I feel like so much time has passed that I'm probably a beginner again. But I'd love to try and write bad poetry again that I will not show anyone ever. But it's tough when you get out of the habit of something like that and you're getting older, because I feel like when you're younger, you're more comfortable being bad at things, or you're so deluded that you don't realize that it's bad. That was me. I fell into that camp. But I love that. I love when you're young and you're new at something and you are just writing for the fun of it, and you're getting to be creative and exercise, expressing how you feel, and you think that it's brilliant and fantastic, even if it actually truly is nothing profound. It's profound to you and it feels so good. And I miss that. I don't know if I could do that now. I feel like I'm way too hypercritical now, and I feel, I don't know, you get older and you feel like you have to prove yourself more, or that things have to be good because it's embarrassing if they're not. I don't know. Something I am working on letting go of. Something I'm always working on letting go of. Other people's opinions of me and what I do and everything. Aren't we all? But I think a good way to practice it would be trying to get back into the habit of writing, more specifically the habit of writing poorly and having fun doing it. And I don't need to share any of it, but I think it's good just to be in the habit of it. Also writing in general, which is why I went to the coffee shop this morning just to journal and get some words on paper, because I think writing anything at all is helpful to exercise that muscle and get things moving, even if it's not necessarily the creative writing that you want to be doing. So I don't know. I thought today I could dive back into poetry and try to resurrect that part of myself and see what happens. All right, I just got back and I have a new order from Parade that just came in. I'm actually really excited about this order. There's a white, like frilly set in this that I am so excited to try. Before I get into opening these up, thank you so much to Parade for sponsoring today's video. Love of my life. All right, you can absolutely see my nipples straight through this, but do you love it? And do you love my new tattoo? Yes and yes. I know your answers. My very first thigh tattoo got the word romance done. Just adding a little ambiance to that area. I'm encouraging visitors is all. This is the set that I was most excited for though. Again, I love something that's a little bit frilly, a little bit girly, but also very sexy. The sheer nature of this with the frills on the side, like it's giving what I needed to give. You know, I really was just born to wear this color. I just really love the sexy silky mesh sets from Parade. Also, this is hugging me really nicely right now. It feels very good. You guys know me, I'm not one to wear bras. I do wear the occasional bralette, and if I'm gonna wear a bralette, this is the exact type of bralette that I'm gonna be looking for. I like bralettes that you can also wear as a top, and I could absolutely wear this as a top. And last but certainly not least, we've got a set from my all-time favorite New Cotton collection. I think I especially love this like neon orange hot pink stitching around the edges of these pieces. I just think it makes it so much more summery and fun. I love a little bit of neon. So if you're interested in trying out some Parade for yourself, you can get a big fat discount when you use code Maddie50 at checkout with your purchase. I'll leave the link in the description down below, but it's yourparade.com/Maddie50 and use code Maddie50 at checkout for 50% off your purchase. That's insane. Half off. Try out all the underwear and bralettes you can dream up. Also, if you're wondering who did my tattoo, it was actually done by Baby's First Sig, who has tattooed me before. My sweetness, sweetness, sweetness tattoo on the back of my arm was done by them, and they are moving to LA at the end of the summer, so I needed to be tattooed by them one more time before they head out. But to any of you that live in LA, go get tattooed by Baby's First Sig, because Zach is so ridiculously talented and you would love to have their art on you. I wanted to go through and show you guys some of my old poetry, read to you some of the things that I wrote in the past. You will be nice to me about it, because not all of it is good. But writing poetry isn't about being good. It's really not. A lot of you probably don't know this about me. Let me brush the dust off this bad boy. But I put out a collection of poetry when I was 20. It was called Aftershock. Very cute, very sweet to have like a collection of everything I wrote when I was a teenager, because that's exactly what this was. Total catalog time capsule of what I felt when I was that age. I think that's really special, and I feel that way about a lot of parts of my life. I think a lot of my life has been lived in like little time capsules because I have so much documented. I have so much writing, I have so many videos, I have so many everything. And I feel like now I'm getting to an age where I'm like far enough away from a lot of the stuff that I had created. Like my YouTube channel turned 13 years old a few days ago, and that's crazy to have been on the internet doing this for 13 years. That's literally insane. I have 13 years of my life documented. That's half of my life. I'm 26. And so there are a lot of versions of me that I have access to, and I do feel very far away from a lot of them. But I do love that I have these little pieces of my past self, even if I do cringe at a lot of it. But I love her. Young Maddie was everything I ever wanted to be and still want to be. But let me find a dorky, sweet poem that I wrote in here. I'm choosing a poem I wrote when I was 17 called Just Friends, because I love this version of myself. I love how dramatic she was. I love how much she loves love and how totally unaware she is of how brave she is for what she's doing in these pages. It's funny, I'll explain afterwards. But the poem is called Just Friends, and I wrote this about a friend of mine that I had a crush on at the time. I decided I'd keep quiet out of fear of losing a friend. Convinced myself we're better this way, that it would never work out in the end. But if he asked me to say what I'm really feeling, my heart would make me, so I would, because I still think about kissing him a lot more often than someone who's just a friend should. It's very simple, it's very cute, it's very sweet. I think I love this version of myself so much because I was so public with my poetry back then. I would post it right on Instagram. I would share with literally everyone that I knew, including the people that the poetry was about. And I was convinced that they couldn't tell, or if they could tell, they thought it was endearing. I don't know that that was the case. But I love that version of me, that 17-year-old version of Maddie that felt so many things and just was excited to tell people and really didn't consider if other people were reading into it or not. I was just like, this is what I feel and I need to tell everyone, including the people that it's about. I was hiding nothing. So anyways, that was that. This is just like a cute little memory for me. I do not like any of the poetry that's in here. But I also have some of the little poetry collections that were put together by the creative writing department at my college. You would submit your work at the end of the year and they would pick the best pieces to be in the Carson Review. I forget which ones of mine were picked. I'll look at the one from 2017 to 2018 first. So how old was I? I was 20 turning 21. Oh my god. Okay, I have another poem that's about liking someone that doesn't like you back. I am so predictable. It's called Overindulge, and I wrote this when I was 21. Every time you say I love you, the air doesn't taste so acidic anymore. I let my shoulders melt off my body and settle like candle wax at my feet. You don't notice, but I don't care. A file will burn regardless of whether you look at it long enough to burn yourself as well. You smell like fall and remind me of the melancholia that drips off my eyes, the residue of past lovers, and you look like the type that floods. I slice the thought of kissing you into 2 even parts. I devour mine, you lick the frosting off yours. I date to distract myself, and you're already oblivious, telling me I deserve better, but why don't I deserve you? When you said you like girls who emboldened you to burn and admitted that girl was me, why didn't you see the conflagration at my feet when you moved on to a name that wasn't mine? Why, as you give yourself to me, are you asking for someone else? I am self-emulating just to get your attention. And you'll come over and watch me blaze as you boast about your latest beauty, and I pretend I don't feel like I'm not enough. The acidic taste returns to my mouth, but I continue to broil for you, kicking myself for reading into things that don't matter to you, for letting it matter to me. You'll return to my apartment, my eyes flickering shut as you watch me fall in love with you and somehow believe it's friendship. You'll inch into my bedsheets and lay your head upon my chest as you dream of the women you lust after and vaunt, and I dream that one day you turn around. Oh! She was hitting with that one. I really do like this piece. I am still very dramatic. Perhaps I have never changed. If that's in this one, I really do not know what's in this one. So this I would have written when I was 22, and this would have been the last time that I ever wrote poetry. This one is called Masochism, and it's sort of about a lot of things. I'll actually let you interpret it however you want. I beg you to fill my lungs with enough helium that the pitch of my voice will shatter my bones. My hollow body pleads to be filled with the pernicious gas that leaks from your lips when you tell me my eyes sank the moon. Have you ever thought of forever? A self-inflicted wound we dream of having, a vow to flip over every hourglass before our fists bleed against flesh. Promise to keep promising, pushing against paper cuts until they split in the center and we pretend forever gained a day. I'll shove the moon back into the sky and everyone will congratulate us for tangling our deficiencies together and passing them on to new pulp. Frivolous words we pretend are romantic suffocate our misfortune. We tie knots around our fingers and convince ourselves it's love. So 22-year-old Maddie was definitely a lot more heartbroken and a lot more pessimistic than currently is. So that's sick that I don't feel this way anymore. She was like, fuck them kids, fuck marriage, fuck you, fuck this, fuck that. I think I'm still team fuck them kids, but marriage, I'm cool with that now. Anyways, those are some glimpses into what poetry has sort of meant to me over the years. I think I definitely got a lot better throughout college, and also just more practice that I had with it, but I haven't written since I was 22. Maybe a little bit when I was 23, like immediately post-grad, but I haven't really written since the start of the pandemic, and I turned 23 at the start of the pandemic. And I miss it. I miss what writing used to make me feel. I kind of want to go to Friends, New York first for a quick little trip to buy a fun little item to inspire me. Me convincing myself that I need to buy useless shit. I'm sorry, sometimes I just need a cute little gift. But actually, for serious, I do want to go and pick up my favorite candle because I am just about out of it, and I probably am not gonna run out today, but it's nice to know that I'll have a new fresh candle waiting for me, and it just adds to the writing vibes. Okay, so let's go run and get a candle, and then I'll come back and we'll do a quick little like 20-minute head down pen to paper writing session and see how I feel. And if you are also trying to get back into writing or interested in giving it a try, join me, please. All right, we made it. Candle has been acquired, as well as a tote bag that I didn't need, but I absolutely did need, and you will get it once you see the tote bag. All right, so first, my favorite candle. I don't even really know where this candle is from. I just know that they sell it at Friends New York and it smells fucking glorious. This is the perfect candle to me. If you would like to know what the perfect candle smells like, buy this candle. And while I was there, because I just can't help myself. Every time I walk into that store, I see something new that I need to have in my life. It's the best place, and it's right around the fucking corner. So I love going there and spending money that I don't need to. But I saw this tote bag and I fucking screamed and howled. Like, is she not me? She is me, I am her, we are one. I needed this tote bag, I needed it, I'm sorry I did. And I feel so inspired to write now that I have this girly by my side, all right? It's what we all deserved today. So now the only thing left to do is the doing. I think I stole that from our trivia host. I think he does that. I think that's what he says before we start playing trivia. Now all that's left to do is the doing. Shout out to John. Okay, anyways, only thing left to do is the doing. So I guess I'm just going to set a timer for 20 minutes, put pen to paper, and see how I feel. I will not be sharing with you what I write during this time because I think it would be a crime towards my inner artist to share work that I know is baby steps. We're just getting back into it. And I think that it is self-sabotage to share before you are ready to share. So I will not be sharing, but I'm just gonna sit and write, and then we'll have a chat. And if you would like to also write, I encourage you to do so. We did it. All right, let's see. I think this is a lot of bullshit, but I did write a few things that I would be interested in exploring deeper. I wrote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pages of this little book. I just sort of approached it by like writing different disconnected stanzas of poetry about different ways that I'm feeling. None of them are good, but I wrote something about a kissing booth that I liked and that I think I could build a whole piece off of. And then towards the end, I wrote something down about restraint and the like back and forth contrast between emotional restraint but also physical restraint. Like I think some piece about like emotionally restraining yourself from someone or something weaved in with language that's more sexual could be fun and interesting to like play with the words there. So I mean, that was 20 minutes and I maybe didn't get any like tangible things to work on, but it did pull out 2 kind of ideas from me that I would be interested in diving deeper into. So that's something. 2 ideas to build off of is not nothing. I definitely want to do that more often. I think it's just it feels nice just to sit here and write and put something down, even if it's garbage. It makes me feel good. Writing feels fucking good, and I'm kind of shocked that it has really slipped away from me like this, but I'm trying not to feel bad about that. I'm trying just to accept that we go through different phases and stages of life, and I have been in a phase where writing was just not a priority of mine. And now I'm entering a phase where I would like to revisit that. And how fun and exciting is that to get to revisit something that you used to love and you know you can love again. Just seems like a fun little summer activity for me. I'm glad we did a little experiment on this fine Wednesday afternoon. And now it's time to go to trivia and really exercise this brain of mine, all right? We're doing so many academic, scholarly things. I do know that I just said I was gonna write a poem that was, you know, BDSM and emotional restraint intertwined, but forget about everything I said. And maybe BDSM is academic. I don't know. Let's go to trivia.